I want to segue a little bit also to some conversations about New Orleans, because Mary, I know that Global Green has done a lot of work down there with the Holy Cross Project and being engaged in that community. And to me, I had the benefit of going down when Eve Ensler was doing her 10th anniversary of the Vagina Monologues 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. She did it in New Orleans. Were you there by any chance?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, and there was so much about the feminine that I think was present in the aftermath of Katrina, and the role of mother, the role of community, collaboration, retooling, rebirth, all of that I think comes to mind when you look at a region like New Orleans. And so I just wanted to kind of, since I know the work of Global Green has been engaged here, I wanted to open that up as a topic and get your thoughts.
I missed Eve's play down in New Orleans, but she has a new play that she premiered on the West Coast last year as a benefit for us and her organization V-Day, which is equally as stunning, I think, as any of her other work, called OPC, Obsessively Politically Correct. And it's not about New Orleans, but some of the funds we've raised, of course, have helped support our work there. I actually spent a good deal of time in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, the first year and a half or two, and met and have still remained in touch with a number of women who have been critical to getting the city back on its feet and being where it was. Unfortunately, one of them passed away recently, Pam DeShiel, who was the president of the Holy Cross Neighborhood Association. And Pam was one of the first people that we, Global Green, met, there. She was one of the first people, returning to, well, she actually ended up staying through the storm, but one of the first people to return to her neighborhood. And when, that city was just, devastated and people were just trying to figure out how to survive, Pam was already engaging in proactive conversations about how to bring Holy Cross back. She was talking to us about how we could build it and rebuild it green. I mean, just such a visionary woman. And unfortunately, she, like I said, she passed away this past fall. And it's a great loss for the city and for us and for her community. A number of people to work with Global Green, including Beth Galante, who is now our New Orleans office director. So just all of these amazing women. And again, I hate to, dismiss it, because there were plenty of great men. Charles Allen, who replaced Pam as the Holy Cross neighborhood president. Amazing. And, again, I think he's one of those men that knows how to tap into his feminine, side, and great listener, very compassionate, intelligent, well-spoken, just an amazing, person. You're right. I mean, I think there are all of these, these things that we think of when we think of the, rebuilding of New Orleans, rebirth, and all of these things that are generated by the mother, which are important to, remember. And also, I mean, of course, the arts community. I mean, and again, it's not specific, but I've met a lot of women artists down there who have returned and who are telling stories through their art about the rebuilding and rebirth of the city. So, women are playing, of course, an amazing role in creating what is the new New Orleans.
My feeling is that, giving birth to a new New Orleans is a woman's task. I mean, I think we see the big picture. We understand what it means to create places for families to live. And not that men don't, it's just that we're closer to that subject because of our DNA and because of the way we're raised and because of how we look at the world. So I think it's very interesting that that office is run by a woman and has been run very successfully. Even though there have been challenges, of course, in anything you do, there are challenges. But Beth has done a fabulous job for us.
I was going to say, and outside of New Orleans, Global Green is obviously also very active in Los Angeles, here in our backyard. Yeah. And this is where I've spent quite a bit of my time doing advocacy on a range of environmental issues. And again, amazing women across the city. One of my friends, I consider her a friend, and our city controller, Wendy Gruhl, who formerly served on the city council, who has continued what our former controller, who was a woman, also started, which is a women's dialogue series. I mean, it's interesting to me that she's done this and that her predecessor did this, but they host a women's dialogue series. It's not anything that's specifically related to the controller's office. She just brings together women from all walks of life to talk about relevant issues, political, social, and all of this. And I've been to a couple of them, and she always finds, just amazing women across the city. And I've never similar hosted by a male politician. They just don't do that kind of stuff.
No, they don't. No.